I already started it.
Okay. Now I was just trying to see and make sure that it was loading. It was giving me weird error, but I think it's loading.
It's loading.
Yep. All right. I
We're
think
here.
we're here. Yay!
Yay! Look, it's Finn. He's back. Oh, great. Yay.
So Ranger's streaming right now while I wait
Mm-hmm.
for my computer. But this is our monthly mod workshop that we plan on doing for all of our purple and higher VIPs. So first off, thank you all for being VIPs for us and
Mm-hmm.
patrons. We really appreciate it. Helps us keep on going. So we want to try and do more things for you guys moving forward, and this is one of the things we plan on doing every month for you guys. A monthly workshop. Now I think we'll be usually targeting either the third or fourth Friday each month, and we might alternate the times a little bit because I know some of you guys are US, some are Euro, and so we'll try and rotate the times a little bit to try and make sure everybody has at least one opportunity every couple months in order to attend one. So, that being said, what we'll do first is what I wanted to kind of go over, which is a kind of an update on a previous video that I made, and I will be making a separate video for this, but
Lies.
I'll show you guys ahead of time. What happened?
You're a liar. Your computer will never
What?
get here and you'll never do videos again.
So I'll make a video about this plus some other things that I have listed. Um, we have some other videos that I'm still working on that I hopefully will get done once I get my computer. So we have a bunch of stuff here in the works, but we have a few mod stuff that we're working on too. And so you guys can ask questions and stuff in the chat if you guys do have any questions with regards to mods. But
Is there
in the
anybody in the
meantime,
chat? There's nobody in the chat,
we
Finn.
have some people watching right now.
Do we have people watching? It says
Mm-hmm.
one at the moment.
It says three on mine.
Oh.
We don't have like it's not going to be a lot because it's the purple and gold VIPs. They're
I
very
thought we
exclusive.
had. I thought we had more.
So, if you guys have questions, go ahead and drop them in there, and then we'll definitely answer those questions for you guys. And let me. Uh, I did the here tag. I'm gonna change that tag. Let me do the purple and gold tag instead. There we go. Okay, I tagged the wrong group. I tagged here out of habit, but I meant to tag specifically the purple and golds because this is special stuff for them. So,
Okay, there's Slash
um,
Finn Rhodes. There's the lovely Mascanado.
hey
Okay.
Slash, hey Maz. All right. So, previously, I had made a video with regards to how to find your optimal mod set, and that was using GG. Now, things have changed since then, and they added mod tools inside of Swaggo that actually make it a lot better because you can actually find mods that are not equipped on characters, which is a huge, huge benefit. Now, when I go to my character screen, what you'll see is that I have a bunch of characters favorited, right? But they're all like the top characters, right? It's Revan and Bosk and Kylo Ren Unmasked, and so what I'm doing here. Hey, Rose Taco. Hi, Ouchie Dumpling. Hi,
Mm-hmm.
Revinator.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm doing is a remodding. Now, really quick, just to let you guys know what's happening, I'm sharing my screen over Zoom and Ranger is streaming it. So if you do see any kind of streaking or anything, that's part of the reason why I'm going to record it again later because I know that the tearing and stuff happens when you share a screen like that over Zoom. So I'm going to go kind of slow as I go through this process so you don't have to necessarily deal with too much of the tearing, but it will happen every now and then. So bear with us. But um, what I'm going to do is explain the process that I'm using for modding, and if you guys want to remod your roster, you can do something similar. So the way that I would recommend you do it is to use the favorite in order to mark the characters that you have remodded. And we'll start with my Jedi Knight Revan because that's the one that I have set as my fastest. Actually, I'm gonna change it up here. Let me go to my boss, and you'll see why I'm doing that here in a second. But I'm gonna try and find my fastest mod set, and it's for Jedi Knight Revan, right? That should be my fastest mod set. but I'm going to try and find my fastest mod set and see what it looks like on Bosk.
Hey, Darth Allen.
Right, so I'm going to go to manage. What happened?
No, I'm just saying, hey, Darth Allen.
Oh, hi, Darth Allen.
I will be saying that, Finn, as people pop in.
Okay. So what you want to do first is fairly simple. You go to your filter, right? We're not worried about arrows unless you guys are going to be very low on arrows with speed primary. We're not, and especially speed set. We're not going to be worried too much about that. But what we want to do is go to the secondary stat and click on speed, right? So we're going to pull up every mod with the speed secondary, and then we're going to sort by speed, right? So now all of the mods are going to be sorted by speed. So the next step is to go through each of the different slots, except for the arrow, because you're going to have hopefully a 32 speed arrow, but potentially you have a 30 speed, and that's fine. And find what your fastest mod is with the speed set. So I'm going to go to filters again first, and we're going to go to the speed set. And we're going to find the fastest speed set, speed secondary we have on each of the different slots, right? So we'll start with the square, and my fastest square. When you guys do this, don't forget that the mod that you have equipped, right, will not show up in the results on the left. And so you always want to make sure you're checking what mod you have equipped, because potentially you're going to equip one that's actually lower than the one you already have equipped. So just something to keep in mind there. But when you start out with the square, so I'll equip the square that I currently have on my Jedi Knight Revan.
Hey, right? Tangent Revolution.
Hi, Tangent. So next we'll go, and hi, Teals. So we'll go to the diamond. And my fastest diamond is, again, on my Jedi Knight Revan. We'll go to my triangle. My fastest triangle is on my Bastila Shan. So we'll put that on here. Go to the circle. The fastest one is on my Bastila Shan. So I'll put that on here. Then I'll go to the cross. And the fastest cross is on my Jedi Knight Revan. So I'll put that here. Right? Simple enough as a start. Now, I'm not going to hit confirm. Right? At this point, I just leave it where it is. But what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to the filter and I'm going to remove the speed set selection, right? So my first one, I went through, I put speed sets on Bosk, but I haven't confirmed it yet. So they're just kind of sitting there, right? And now I'm going to take off speed set and I'm going to get all of my speed secondaries listed without speed set. And we are effectively going to do the same thing again, right? But this time we're not going to equip. We're just going to compare. So I'm going to click on the square now. So I have Jedi Knight Revan square equipped, right? You'll see that it does pull up here as well because I haven't equipped it, right? So that is my fastest speed secondary total, right? Forget about the speed set. That's my fastest speed secondary. We'll go to the diamond, right? My fastest one is still the one on Jedi Knight Revan. Simple enough. Go to the triangle. When I look at the triangle, you'll see that I have a 20 speed triangle that I currently have on my Jedi Knight Revan. Similar to what we did in the first time when you used to do it on paper, but this time you just kind of have to remember it, right? The one that I don't have equipped speed-wise is a 20. What I have equipped is an 18, right? So I can gain 2 speed by that mod. I can go to the circle. I have a faster circle, 21 speed. That's a non-speed set. Right? And then I have my cross, and my cross is a speed set as my fastest. Which means I only have 2 mods right now where I have to worry about what my what the mod is that's actually not speed set, that's actually faster. So if I wanted my fastest mod set, I would go to my triangle and replace that with the Jedi Knight Revan. That'll gain 2 speed for me. And I'd replace the circle. And I have effectively created, once I replace the arrow, and I know I have my Jedi Knight Revan arrow somewhere here. So let me keep this, and then I'll remove the speed secondary and put speed primary. And I know I have my Jedi Knight Revan there, speed set. So what I've done is find my fastest speed set, right? And it's effectively the same thing as what we did in the first video. The only difference is you do the searches through in-game rather than through GG, so you can find even mods that are not equipped, right? Now, the next step is what's more important and what I was mentioning about the favorites and everything. So I'm going to abandon these because all of my mods are already on my Jedi Knight Revan so that I know that they're correct. So I'm going to go to my Jedi Knight Revan and tell you guys why I suggest you use the favorite when you're remodding this. Once you get your fastest mod set on your character, you want to go to your manage, you want to assign your loadout, and you want to create the loadout for the characters. Here's the problem when you're remodding characters. There's no way for you to really know which characters you've modded and which characters you haven't modded correctly, right? After you get through a bunch of them, you just see mods on them, but you don't know if you modded them correctly or not. And you really have to look to see whether or not you added any of the actual pieces that you want. And so what you do after you save it is you'll go through, right? You save the mod loadout, and then you favorite in order to mark the characters that you've modded, right? So now when I go to my character screen, all of these that I have favorited are ones that I know I have already modded. And so all I have to do in order to figure out which one I want to mod next is go to all of them that I don't have modded or don't have favorited, and then I can select whichever one I want from there and then start modding it. And then all you have to do is go into a particular one. Let's say we want to mod Akbar, right? And all you have to do is when you go to the manage of the mods, make sure that you click the show mods not in loadouts. And now all of the mods that you don't have in the loadouts are going to not show up, right? So you're only going to see the mods not in loadouts, not the ones that are in the loadouts. And so you can just constantly keep on modding characters over and over and over and over and over again until you get really bored of it. And then you can always come back to it because now you don't have to memorize which ones you've modded. You mark them by creating a mod loadout, so now it works with the sort. And you've also flagged them using the favorites tab in order to see which ones you've modded. And so you know which one you can pick up with the next time you do it. So that's the main thing. I'm going to just throw a mod on here. Let me find one that I don't have equipped. I can... Okay. But yeah, so that would be the process for modding, right? And that's the easiest way to go through all of your characters if you're going through kind of a remodding of your roster, and how to go about it in an organized way. And once you're done remodding, then you can remove all of the favorites. There really isn't a huge reason for you to favorite characters that you are working on because they're findable in other ways.
I'm not
right?
yawning. I'm trying to hold sneezes. My allergies are killing me right now. I've been sneezing this whole time. I've had my mic on mute, so.
So you can use your favorites in order to mark the characters you're working on, but those are usually findable in other ways, and so you don't necessarily have to use that in order to grab it, right? Some of them are, if you go to your characters and you're farming particular ones for shards, you can usually reverse order, and the ones that aren't 7-star, for example, will usually show up at the top there, especially if you're later game, right? And if you're not, then you can usually go by the faction and find them. So if you're working on B2 or on like Droidica, for example, you could go through the droid tabs and find it. So the favorites ends up being a really useful tool when you're remodding. I wouldn't wait too long once you started, especially if you want to use your favorites for other things. So that's just my suggestion on how you guys find your fastest mod set, and you would basically just do that over and over again and exclude characters already in loadouts so that you can just create new ones. So
Question, well, Revener just said, is Ranger sneezing because he's allergic to Finn? Unfortunately, no, that's not the case. It's just allergies, and you can hear my voice, my nose, I'm all clogged up all of a sudden. When it hits hard, man.
That's what she said.
I see what you did there, Finn. Shame on you. Rose Taco question. Between Jedi Knight Revan, Darth Revan, and Fallen Bastila, which should be the speed order? Well,
speed order or fastest mod set? Because there's a difference.
Well, so right? Bastila you want to get around 300, so she would be the one I would focus on first. Then exactly. Darth Revan, you want to try to get him over 300. If you can.
But Darth Revan will usually be faster than your Fallen Bastila,
yes,
simply because his base speed is faster. So
right.
Speed order is a little bit confusing. That's why we want to talk more about the sets of mods that you're putting on the characters.
And then Jedi Knight Revan's your third fastest, just by default. He should always be your third fastest character in the game right now. You need a fast Jedi Knight Revan, but try to get Bastila close to 300 as possible to take your next fastest set, put him on Revan. Now he should be faster if you have really good mods. Over 300, and then your Jedi Knight Revan, whatever you got left, try to get them close to 290 to 300 as you can. You know, I mean, that's your best bet. If Bastila goes first for you on the Darth Revan team, you win most of the time, because if she gets to do her AOE first, it's game on like Donkey Kong. And Moss says, "Is it actually playing? Mine is spinning."
Yeah. No, it's actually. It's not. It's actually not lagging on mine.
Yeah, I'm not having any issues, Moss. I'm not seeing anything.
I mean, if my interwebs is managing to hold up the thing, it has to be working.
I'm watching the stream live right now. It seems like it's
Yeah.
fine. It's showing
Yeah.
Finn stuff. So, Moz, I don't know what to tell you, hon. Maybe it's the evil YouTubers. It's the YouTube gnomes coming in. All right, this is your chance to pick our brains, skewers. So if you have things about mods you want to know about, things of that nature. You know, Finn, I am getting ready to conduct our experiment if we want to switch and show what I'm doing.
Yeah, you can switch to yours.
Okay, let's get off this. Stop sharing your screen.
You want me to stop sharing on mine? Okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about our new let me switch to the game. Yeah, let me change mine to the game. It's just a big old picture of me. Hi. Let me go to here. There we go. All right. So, Finn? Talk about what you want our little experiment to be, and I'm going to go ahead and get into the character, and we're gonna start doing it right now.
So this is a theory that I have based on what we saw in the weekly store. And what we saw in the weekly store is that they sell maximum secondary stat mods for a little bit more than we get it from in the mod store when it's not 100% maxed out. And what we saw is that when speed is showing already on a mod, it's maxed out at 5, right? But some people have claimed that they have a single roll of speed at 6. So assuming that is true, and I haven't actually seen it yet, so I'm hoping if somebody does, they might be able to provide a screenshot or a link to it. But assuming that that is true, that you can have a 6 on the first roll, what that would mean is that your potential of getting a maximum mod, which is a 30-speed secondary, only happens when you are not showing speed when the mod is level 1. Right? So if you have a blue level 1 mod and you have 2 stats showing, one of them should not be speed, and when you roll it to 6, speed will be rolled, and that is how you can potentially get a 6 as a starting. Now, this is all based on the premise that a 6 can be seen at the first speed increment, right? And I haven't seen that yet, but people have claimed that it's there, so we're testing to see whether or not that's true. Because we know that you can hit anywhere from 3 to 6 when you roll up afterwards.
Now,
the question is, can you have a speed with 6 speed with a 1 in parentheses next to it?
Well, I've never so do you want me to just get some gray mods and then slice it, or you want to
It can be any mod. Any mod that does not have speed that shows speed. So purple, blue, green.
Well, these are mods that I thought we were going to roll to see if we can get higher chances for the mods speed. I'm confused on what we're doing here.
No, my theory is, so what I'm trying to test is whether or not you can get a 6 speed on the first roll of speed on any mod. Meaning that if it doesn't have speed and you get a 1,
I've never seen. It's always been like 5. So let me.
5 is the maximum you can get when it's preset. Right, so on a level.
No, I mean mod, like the gray mods that I've been getting, or any mod, the highest I've ever seen is 5. I've never seen a 6.
So that's what we're testing, right? That's what I'm trying to see.
Okay, so I'm gonna go get some more gray mods here, and then we'll get some gray mods here. All right, Ranger's gonna roll for some more mods here. Okay, let's see. This is gonna be brutal. Okay, a lot of grays, Finn. Oh, there's a 4-speed gold one.
Gold will never.
Purple had 5.
Well, that doesn't matter, right? We don't want it showing.
Well, I'm glad I got a good mod. Shut up, Finn.
It's good for you. I'm just saying that for the test, we actually need mods that are not showing speed.
Sick of you.
And Rose Taco asked a question. He says, should Malik be fast or healthy or both if possible? And how fast should Malik be? So, really quick, he needs to be healthy, but not through health. You make him healthy through protection.
Yeah, I've got protection, I think, on the cross, the circle. I'm going to change this diamond to a protection as soon as I get one. I just have to remod him, but you see there's a lot of protection on him, even on the secondary stats. So health, defense has primary, stats, but lots of protections on the for the mod sets, but then protection is the main stat. So I think he's only gear 11, so it's only 64,000. I need to change the triangle out and get him a little bit higher. And he's only gear 11, so when he gets to gear 12, then he's really going to be a monster. So that's kind of where I went with him on that. It's not about the speed either. I think his speed is, they've got some speed on it. So what's my stats on him? Speed is 229. I'm not really worried about getting too fast. It's just him being able to take hits because with that protection transferring over to health. Gear 12 Maliks, I can't emphasize enough how disgusting they are. They are nasty. It's like, are you? He. Ugh. I don't want to talk about it. All right.
Wait until gear 13.
That'll be creamy. All right, let me filter again. Let's go speed. We'll go sort by speed. All right, we're gonna try these gray mods. See if we can get a 6. The elusive. Finn and Ranger going looking for the elusive. I've never even heard
if it exists. I don't know if it does or does not exist, and I have not seen any pictures of it.
So. All right, I'm going to roll 12 on this gray mod. Let's see what happens. Speed 4. So.
Well, at least you got a speed. That's
nice.
Nice.
Yeah, got a speed on it, so we'll keep that there. See, we got a circle. We'll roll that. I've never seen it ever. I've never seen it.
I have not either. I've only heard legends.
And the rest are already had. Okay, there's one that had. Okay, we just rolled that one. Where did the other mods go? Oh, they already had speed on them, so that kind of defeats the purpose, right? They're not going to hit stats or anything like that. Oh my God,
correct. If it's showing
7.
speed, then it's not going to do anything. But
all right, there's a purple that I got as well. Where are you, you son of a? Come here, you. Where are you? I know you're in here somewhere. I know I rolled it. I know it was in here. There it is. Hit 10. Okay. Yeah, as far as I've been doing this, I've never seen a 6. Ever. I've never hit 6 on these mods. I've been doing this for a while. Where it's hit. It's really strange.
So there's only one that I'm trying to go through, and I'll put the link in the chat. There's pictures every now and then that show it, but again, I don't know the validity of these.
I don't either. I've never hit one, ever.
I just posted a link to a picture where it does show a 6 speed, and yeah.
The other thing I'm testing out is these are all mods that I've gotten from just doing my thing, where we'll slice this one. I hit defense. Fail. Fail. These are all mods that I've farmed. So the other thing that I want to test out is if I slice these, right, will they hit speed more often than buying them from the store, right? So that's one of the things I'm curious about, because the best speed mods I've gotten have not been from the store. It's been through, just slicing them myself, which is crazy to say, but it's true. This is a 5 speed. I want to slice this, see if we can get something good. That didn't. God damn it. I'm getting hosed, Finn.
If you guys have any other mod questions, feel free to drop them in. This is kind of whatever you guys have regarding questions about mods.
Or the game. Just do the game.
Or mods. Anything about the game. But we try to make this a mod workshop for you guys to let you know kind of what you can do and that kind of stuff. Then just feel free to ask.
Yeah, I'll keep getting mods.
Your guys' time.
keep getting mods, and we'll keep trying to get you guys squared away. But it's a never-ending cycle. It just sucks. It's horrible. It's horrible. I only need 2 more pieces, and there's stun guns and the black eyeballs.
Did Teals fall asleep?
Teals died. He's no longer with us. He is no more, Finn. He has ceased to be. How much energy do I have?
Did you see somebody bought me off the Amazon wish list a 3-pack of Bob Ross Funkos?
I don't care about that.
I have a 3-pack.
I put some more fun stuff on the Amazon wish list. I put I got Darth Malik figure, and then I put the Jaina Skywalker thing. You know, any of the Black Series figures that you guys come across. I mean, I dig those kind of things. So
someone also bought me the green lightsaber. So I put a green lightsaber on there.
Oh, really?
So go to I don't know if you want to share your screen, because I don't think you've seen it yet. So I want to see your reaction. So if you want to share your screen and go to the, I'll put a link for you.
Where?
In the YouTube chat.
Okay.
So you can click it and see it for the first time.
Well, real men don't let other men use green lightsabers. They use red lightsabers, Finn. I don't know.
There's a reason for it.
God, my allergies. Now I'm draining and ugh.
Okay, I'm putting the link in the chat.
I'm waiting, Finn, on bated breath.
It's in the YouTube chat. I just put it in there.
Okay, I'm gonna copy that.
Are you sharing your screen? Make sure you share your screen so they can see it at the same time.
Finn, you know I know how to do this. You know, you haven't been around lately, so I've had to do this shit myself. So
we need a reaction video.
What?
I'm Jedi Consular Finn. I'm Jedi Consular Finn. Look, compared to in game. I'm Jedi Consular Finn.
I mean, you can't unsee stuff sometimes.
That's why I had the Jedi cosplay outfit on there, and I didn't know whether or not somebody was going to get it or not. And then they got it. I'm like, okay, I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm putting it all together for the thing I'm working on. I'm like, yep, perfect.
Why is your sleeve so short on your robes?
Huh?
Your robes for your Jedi robes? Why are they?
They're intentional. Look at Jedi Consular in the game.
Okay. You went with the Knights of the Old Republic Jedi robes. Okay, I gotcha.
I went with the one in game. Yeah. No, but the robes are actually long. I rolled up the sleeve.
No, that's what I was asking. Were they intentionally come like that? Because I know that that was a look from the Knights of the Old Republic with some of the Jedi and Sith. And I know for a fact they were, because I had that actual outfit on for my Jedi and for my Sith character.
Yeah, I just.
It's crazy. In the Old Republic game, I had all those outfits that you see. I had Malik's, I had Revan's, both of his. I had all the Jedi outfits. I had all the Sith outfits. So Sith Assassin and Sith Marauder, I had the robes and the characters and the armor and everything like that, the lightsabers. I mean, I had all that stuff. I'd run around, as I had Tulak Horde's outfit. That was the one that took me the longest to get. I used to run around and just brain people as Tulak Horde. Okay, I upgraded. Rose said he got 5 speed. I've never seen 6, man. And we're going to keep testing. I've never seen a 6 ever. It's crazy. I've never seen a 6.
I mean, there's only the one that I saw on the screenshot, right? That's the only one I've seen.
And
I'm sure there's a couple of other screenshots.
Hey, Clone Troop 211.
Seen it. So.
All right, there's Dr. Finn as a Jedi.
Jedi Consular Finn.
Now I will take an opposite picture here soon when I get the Darth Revan mask hasn't come. It's got someone purchased it a while ago. It just has not showed up yet. So it said 4 to 5 days shipping. So I thought it'd be here like Thursday or today, and it hasn't showed up yet. So I'm very verklempt right now because I've got the whole other outfit ready to go. So I will take a picture, and then we can compare who's cooler, Finn or Revan Ranger. I just think the Revan Ranger would be cool. All right, let me kind of get off
Hi,
this.
Clone Troop 211.
All right, now we can get off that hysteria. Look at you in the bathroom, and oh god, I didn't know
What else
Jedi's.
am I gonna take a selfie?
I
I don't have a
didn't know
mirror.
Jedi's took selfies like that. It's pretty
Jedi's
neat.
have to pee and poo too.
Well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right, let's see. Any other chats, VIPs? Any question? Clone Troop says, just love my Dooku to Gear 12 and got one of his mods to roll up to 21 speed. Congrats. I've had one mod in the last 100 and something I've done that's done 20 speed. So there's that. Not happy. Not happy at the moment. I mean, there's some mods I could roll right now. I just don't want to because I'm so focused on speed. If I do this, do that, sort by speed. What can I work on? There's a 20 on Boss. Got a slice right now. There's a
I found a
bunch
new
of triangles.
little fatty fuzzy pork toy on there that wasn't there before, so I put that on my wish list too. So
Okay.
cute. It's all round.
So fluffy.
It is. It's all fluffy. It's such a cute pork. Yeah.
This one on Boss could be good. Get another speed out of it. This one now like 17 speed.
Any other questions you guys have about anything?
How's the
Talk
time?
about anything. It's not like there isn't a lot going on with the game right now.
No.
I think what I'm gonna do is one of the next videos I'll make, and it's probably something we can talk about in June, is matching mods and what is meant by matching mods and what you should look for. Because I know a lot of people are trying to figure out what they should sell and what they should keep. So matching mods are definitely something worthwhile to kind of review and try to figure out which mods have the most value. So we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail as well next time.
We can do it.
Just watching Ranger do stuff with mods.
I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here, if I want to slice this mod or not. It's already got 20 speed on it. I just take one extra speed. That would make my boss 281. What's this one? 12. No, I'm not slicing at 12. Get the hell out of here.
Okay. Question from Clone Troop 211. He said, question, with bounty hunter teams, I'm thinking of making an original trilogy team with Boss Bleed and a prequel team with Django Lead. What are your thoughts? Let's see. So that would end up being Bosk, Boba, Greedo, 88, and Dengar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that would leave Django, Cad Bane, Zam, Aura Singh, and Embo.
I believe so, yes.
I think that's the split. I mean, it works, right? I think it works. The only thing is, I guess you're going with Django Lead, right? So you're not going with Zam, so it's not as thermal detonator based. I'm just trying to think. So I'll throw it out there. IG-88 is a really, really squishy bounty hunter, right? Even on my bounty hunter team, I prefer to use Cad Bane over 88 because 88 just seems to die way too quickly. So 88's use is something I'm always a little bit skeptical of in an effective team, right? But that's only part of it. So if you're splitting it up, I think it makes sense. Zam's speed is really fast, so you put her under a Django, and she just gets crazy fast, and so she will be She'll be doing a lot of damage, and she'll also be trying to explode a lot of detonators. I'm just trying to figure out where all the detonators will be coming from, right? So she'll be able to do a lot of damage. Her basic will detonate it, but where are we getting a lot of the detonators from? I'm trying to think because Greedo works really well on that team, right? But Greedo falls in the original trilogy team, not in that one.
I love Zam under Django Blade. I'm not gonna lie, I love that mod. So
I love Zam under Django Lee. I'm just trying to figure out how you get more thermal detonators to really make use of her basic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you split it up as Django,
well, because Django's giving them the
Bane,
team
Zam,
minus,
Aura,
he you know, I mean, her just naturally under the Django League. Just, I mean, if you can make her fast. Remember, she's getting 30 speed from him too. What?
Yeah, no. I know she's going to be fast and doing a lot of damage, right? But her basic is really awesome because it keeps on detonating all the thermal detonators that are on characters, right? So where are you getting extra thermal detonators to increase her damage? She's already doing enough damage with
What's
her
the other thing
basic
Django's lead does? I got to look at this again.
Because Django's lead is just speed and I think potency.
It reduces. It also they have 20% potency and they have 40% less tenacity. So it's
the enemies do.
Yes, they get minus 20 and minus 40 without the Zeta. Which with the speed and that's why you see all those thermal detonators just landing and sticking in here and her doing what she does.
Right, but who else is putting any detonators? Like, it seems like
I always go with
really
Dengar.
Zam.
I only go with I go. So you want so Django's all about doing AOE. So between Boba Fett, Django, Zam doing hers, and then I always go Dengar, tossing his. Then you're going to get the payout faster. That's the team that Vancell runs to get the payout hitting quicker. So. Django does his fire, Boba Fett does his AoE ability block, Dengar throws his grenades that detonate grenades and stuff, Zam does her grenades and things of that nature. So that's kind of what you want. Boss is there to tank and be a nuisance.
I'm with you now by adding Dengar onto that team, because that's another thermal detonator.
Yeah, I mean, you could go to Greedo, but I like Dengar better. He's more survivable, and he sets off those detonators, which helps you get your payout faster. He's just that AoE that you're like, mm-hmm. Oh, yes, I did.
So then I think the way that you're separating these are Boss, Boba, Greedo, Cad Bane, and IG-88. And then Django lead with Dengar, Zam, Aura, and Ember.
Well, eventually the team that I'm going to go with, I'm just going to be cheeky and just go new bounty hunters, new hotness, old busted. So I'm gonna go like the original bounty hunters, and then I'm just gonna go the Clone Wars.
Well, that's what he's asking, right?
You could do that. I think it'd work great, with Django and with Zam in there, Embo.
But then where are the other detonators? That's what I was asking, and then you said Dengar would make sense.
You could go. You could switch it up. I mean,
I think that is the team. I think it's Django, Zam, Dengar, Aura, Embo.
Yeah.
And then Boss, Boba, Greedo, Cad Bane, 88. I think that's the way you separate it.
Yeah, you could do it like that.
Because you want at least one other source of thermal detonators to assist with Aura Singh.
Science.
So
Science.
That's the way I think I would go with it. So yeah, I think that's the way I would go with it. Now, obviously, if you don't have all of the bounty hunters done, you can, and depending on what you have, Django lead with Boba is actually really nasty. And then you throw Bosk on that team. I know that doesn't really make for a very good other team for bounty hunters, but I'm just saying that's a really fun defensive bounty hunter team if you haven't seen it. Because the speed of Django, then boss taunts, and then Boba and Django can both res, and then if you can start getting the contracts up, like it can get really, really nasty. So, all right, Maz has a question.
Oh,
So she said, basically, when you are choosing mods to roll or keep, you watch for matching secondaries, primaries, and mod types, like offense type mods with offense type secondary types, or primaries or defense mods. Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit. So there are two different groups of mods, right? You have offense mods and speed mods and crit damage mods. And I'm kind of excluding crit damage here for a second. So we'll just talk about offense set and speed set. Those are 4-piece bonuses, right? They are the only real ways to get a set bonus for those particular stats, right? So if you're focusing on a character for speed, you will be looking for a speed set. If you are focusing on a character for offense, and I'm specifying offense and not damage, just offense, right? Then you're looking for an offense set. There is no 2-piece bonus that will ever help you, right? There's no 2-piece bonus that will increase speed. There is no 2-piece bonus that increases offense, right? So for offense, right, you are looking for an offense set. You're going to try and optimize the offensive stats that you're looking for. And so the things you're going to be looking for are any offense secondary, right? And potentially offense percentage. Now, with the incoming Gear 13, I will mention that offense percentage may have a huge benefit coming up. So, one of the things you never want to sell are mods that have rolled at least 4 times, potentially 5 times, on any stat. Because you never know when they're going to come into play, especially if they are a percentage stat, which are already, once you get up to 6E mods, get very close to the quality of a flat stat. So for speed and offense, you are looking for flat stat offense, primarily because you can use it at 5A and not be GIMP, right? And if you use percentage, you tend to be GIMP at 5A, but you're fine at 6E. So you're looking for those stats for speed and for offense. Crit damage, the only reason I exclude that, there's no crit damage secondary, so you can't really farm for crit damage. There's only one other place you can get crit damage, and that's the primary on a triangle. So you want to try and collect those separate. So 4-piece mod bonuses are a little bit different. Now we can go to the 2-piece, right? And 2 pieces are showing you tenacity, potency, health, defense, and crit chance. Right, so you're focusing on those 5 stats. If you have the crit damage or crit chance set, for example, potentially you are going to try and load up a character with the highest crit chance that you could possibly get on a character, right? Character that may benefit from something like that, for example, is Lando, right? Every time Lando crits, he gains, he can refresh the cooldown on his AoE. Wicket gets a lot of bonuses every time he crits, right? So there's some characters that you will just try to load up on crit chance. So what is the way you want to load them on crit chance? Well, there's only one mod that has a crit chance primary, and that is the triangle. So a crit chance set, crit chance primary on a triangle is going to be a matching mod, right? You have a primary that's matching with your 2-piece set. Similarly, for every other piece, if you can get crit chance as a secondary stat on a crit chance set mod piece, so crit chance secondary on a square, crit chance secondary on a crit chance diamond, crit chance secondary on a crit chance set circle, whatever it is, right? Those are also going to be considered matching because you are trying to keep this set just in case you are going to be trying to optimize crit chance, right? Then how do you want to do it? You want to do crit chance sets as much as possible with crit chance secondaries. So those are matching mods. right? So we have two different types of mods we've talked about so far, right? It's anything that has speed or offense, because those are a 4-piece bonus plus any 2-piece bonus. So regardless of the set, if it has flat offense or flat speed, you want to try and roll those and try to get them to roll 4 or 5 times. Then for the other ones, you're looking for a match, meaning that it's a crit chance set with a crit chance secondary, or a defense set with a defense secondary, or a health set with a health secondary, or health primaries. Health has more primaries because of the circle as well. So the circle could be it, the cross, similarly for the defense, right? Cross, circle, cross, triangle, and arrow, the J mods. Those all have primaries that can change. Crit chance is only on the triangle, but the other ones, tenacity, potency, and health, and defense, can be seen on the right-sided mods. Right? So they can be seen on the arrow, they can be seen on the, not potency, but somewhere in the right side, you can see a lot of these, either on the cross for sure, and then sometimes on the triangle, sometimes on the arrow, and health can be seen on the circle. So a health primary circle with a health set ends up being a matching mod. So if you're noticing, there's one mod that's completely, well, one stat that is completely left out. And that is protection. Because there is no protection set, but there are protection stats on all of the mods. And so what you're looking for protection, in order to consider it kind of a quote-unquote matching mod, is on any defensive set primarily. Right? So you're looking for protection, high protection on a health, high protection on a tenacity, high protection on the defense, and potentially high protection on a speed set. Right? Typically, you're not going to look for high protection offense set. There are some tanks that are better off fast. A couple of examples, Scion is one, Kenobi is another, and so you might be able to benefit from protection on a speed set. But otherwise, you're looking at it from primarily other tank sets: defense, health, tenacity. So that's what I mean by matching, right? Which is that it's matching what your overall focus is when you're trying to min-max for all of your mods. And so if you're focusing on health, you're looking for all of the health stats that you can possibly get, which would be health set, health primaries on the arrow, triangle, cross, and circle, and then flat health as the secondary stat on those 4 mods, the J mods, right? And then on the square and the diamond, ideally, you have both a percentage health and a flat health, with one of them rolling at least 4 times, hopefully 5 times. And so those would be matching mods. And then in general, anytime you have anything that rolls 5 times, keep it. Even 4 times, keep it. Because you never know when you can find use for that, because they have said that they're trying to move the game away from just being speed requirements. And as much as speed is important, we are seeing more and more uses for non-speed in this game. And so anytime you have 4 or 5 in parentheses next to a stat, you keep that, because the chances of you getting that 4 or 5 again when you actually need it are very low. Case in point, look at your attempts on trying to get speed now. Right? It takes friggin' forever, because that's the way it works. So, and then Maz asks, what do you think are the most common triangle and cross primaries you guys use?
Depends on the
The
character.
most common ones are going to be crit damage, because I
Yes.
intentionally try to save those, but I mean, I don't really pay attention to the primaries a lot of times.
No.
There's very few primaries I actually pay
Protection and crit
to.
damage are the 2 I use the most. Other than that, like,
It's just kind of happenstance that we have it.
So
There
it's
probably
like,
is a lot of health primaries that I have on mine, just simply because they have like the speed secondaries and I leveled them, but it's not like I intentionally kept them because of the primary. The only ones I've intentionally kept for their primaries are pretty much crit damage, offense, and crit chance. Other ones have been accumulated over time, kind of by accident almost, but because of offense and speed. Oh, and protection. So, yeah. Roast Taco. I got a 4-hit defense gold mod to 27 speed, probably good for Gear 13. Yeah, that might end up being really good for Gear 13. We don't know how everything is going to scale and what's going to happen with the defensive stat. But if you get a 4-hit, definitely keep it. And this is part of the reason why I mentioned that they need to lift the mod cap. Because with the current state of the game, everybody is focusing on speed, right? And you sell these other mods because they may have only hit speed once. And so you see a speed of 5, but you may have just sold a speed of 5 with a crit chance of like 6% on that mod. And that mod ends up being really good without you even realizing it, because at the time you didn't need it. And so people are selling mods right now out of necessity, because otherwise you're losing mods that are in your inventory, and you're losing mods that have a lot of value. It's just unrecognized value because of the state of the game. So it's always one of those things that you have to be cautious about. Why would you not pay attention to primaries? Because you are just looking for the secondaries and the set type? Yeah. Because primarily it's the set, it's like the speed set and the offense set that I was mentioning, or the crit damage set. So when you're focusing, and again, I'm not trying to kind of joke around here. As much as we're talking about other stats, this game is heavily dependent on speed. And so when you're putting together speed stat after speed set after speed set after speed set, you don't pay attention to the primaries. You're only paying attention to whether or not it's a speed set, and then what is the speed secondary, and do I need to replace certain mods in order to create my fastest speed set, right? And so the primary really doesn't matter. Now, the time that primaries do matter are when you're focusing on offensive characters, and at that point you're debating between crit damage primary and offense primary, and which is better. But most of the time, unless you're focusing on those, you're not really paying attention to the primary stat. You're probably, and you should be, focusing on the secondary stats, because those are the ones that you're actually trying to min-max your character for, right? If you're trying to min-max your character for protection, right, you might, at that point, you might be focusing on protection as a primary, because all of them there. But what if you're focusing on tenacity? Well, the primary really doesn't matter, right? If you're going for a character that has maximum tenacity, you're probably just looking at the secondary stat. Now, maybe if you have a couple of them that are really close, you pay attention to the primary. But if you have, let's say, and I'm throwing out random numbers here, but let's suppose you have a mod that has 5% tenacity because it hit 4 times and has a primary of health, versus a crit damage primary, which is your next, and has your next highest tenacity, which is 1%. Do you go for the 5% tenacity and health, or do you go for the 1% tenacity and crit damage? Well, depends on what your focus is, right? If you're not super intent on trying to get your character over, I don't know, 120% tenacity, then maybe the 1% is enough. But if you are trying to get them over 120, well, then all you're caring about is the 5% tenacity, the 6% tenacity. So it just depends on the focus of your character when you're modding them and what you're looking for. And that's part of the reason why, while they're good resources, we do caution you guys about using things like the mod optimizer and even swgoh.gg with the mod meta report and things like that, because people will mod things different ways, but you should really mod it based on how you plan on using your character. Some of them are really straightforward, right? It's not too hard to figure out. Han Solo, you want to put a crit damage set, you want to put damage on him, and you don't really care about the speed. If you can get him faster, great, but really you're trying to optimize his damage, because once you give him the bayonet, he hits like a truck, right? Simple enough. General Kenobi can be modded 3 different ways. He can be modded really, really heavy on health. If you're putting him in under like a Padme lead, you can make him really, really heavy on protection, which works really well under a Jedi Knight Revan lead. Or you can make him really, really fast. So you can put him really fast and tanky, then you can also put him under a Jedi Knight Revan lead. So General Kenobi can be modded 3 different ways. Enfys Nest can be modded 2 different ways, right? There's a bunch of characters that fit that. So you want to make sure you're modding it based on how you plan on using it in your roster. And sometimes the generalized sites that give you an idea about how to mod are definitely better than the in-game basic suggestion. But it's still a good idea to go through and figure out how you plan on using your character and why you're modding them the way that you will eventually do so. Maz, would you roll a defense cross or triangle with speed? Yeah. If it has to be secondary, I roll it. There is no other way to get speed on a mod outside of the arrow primary. So for a secondary stat, there's no other way other than to just roll it, right? You can get a 4-piece speed set, but then the other 2 pieces, there is no way that you're getting speed. And so you never know when that 2-piece bonus or those other 2 pieces are going to be your fastest mods. So anytime you get a mod with a speed secondary, you roll it up, you see what you get, and depending on where you are, if it sticks with your tier 1 progression, then you keep on slicing it. If it drops out of your tier 1 and drops to tier 2, depends on your roster and whether or not tier 2 mods can help you. If tier 2 mods can help you, you can continue to slice that one too. And then if it drops to tier 3, typically tier 3 are not worth it. The high end is going to be like mid-level on a tier 1, so you can just kind of continue that. So, but yeah, if you have any kind of cross that has a speed secondary, without question, no hesitation, you slice it, you roll it up, and you see what it can get. And if it stays tier 1 progression, you end up slicing it. Let's see what the hell's going on. My fleet chat kind of went crazy a little bit today. Friggin' guy was like, yeah, we need to be more considerate of everybody else on the shard chat so we don't attack people. Like, you shouldn't attack anybody whose payout is coming in 12 hours of you. We're like, what the hell is wrong with you? Who's going to wait 12 hours for the next person's payout? That's like the most ridiculous thing ever. Like, I was just using 12 hours as an example. It's like, that's the stupidest example. At least make a realistic one.
Yeah,
if it's
see?
2 hours, we understand, but seriously, who's going to wait and not hit somebody because their payout is 11 hours from when mine is? It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
You're stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I am. All right.
I'm getting my boss speed. I'm trying to see if I can get into 300, but I'm not going to quite be able to do it. I need a better triangle. But I'm going to get him to 292 after I slice this next mod. So that'll be 292. Not bad. I don't think that's a bad speed, Finn.
So Maz is asking, okay, what good is a 24-speed triangle with defense primary? Aren't you going to give away a ton of damage? So let me ask this, Miss Maz Kanata. If you are, and I don't know for sure if you have Darth Revan or not, right? But what have we said always about the modding for Darth Revan teams? Right? The goal is to get your Fallen Bastila faster. Why do we want her faster? Has nothing to do with damage, right? It is the usefulness of her ability. Not every character is reliant on high damage. Those ones you will focus on damage. Some characters are engine characters, and those are characters that you just worry about speed, because the faster they go, the faster your team goes. And it doesn't have to do with their tankiness. It doesn't have to do with their damage. It doesn't have to do with their ability to take a hit, right? Or anything like that. All it has to do is with them getting off an ability that makes it so your team will be able to go faster. They're a utility character, right? And as the engine, that's their goal. Their goal is to get the rest of your characters that are specialized in some other aspect to go nuts, right? And Fallen Bastila does that. Corrupted Battle Meditation and Fear and all of that. She can basically lock down the team if she goes first. And so what you do is you look at trying to get her as fast as possible. So you ignore primaries, right? Because it doesn't matter. You're not worried about her damage. You're not worried about her tankiness. All you are worried about is getting her to go first, before the opposing Fallen Bastila, right? So you just find every speed that you can find, and you make your fastest speed set, and you throw it on Fallen Bastila. That's the strategy, right? And so at that point, primaries don't even come into play, right? If you're trying to get your Fallen Basilisk fastest, it doesn't really matter whether or not she has a health primary. It doesn't matter if she has a protection primary. It doesn't matter if she has a crit damage primary. All that matters, she has the 24 speed secondary, which gets her faster. Because her goal is just to get faster. Other characters that kind of fit that same mold, right? BB-8. BB-8, do you really care about the damage? No. BB-8, unless you're Urzatron, you don't really attack with BB-8.
No.
Urza loves using his basic over and over again on BB-8, but you don't do that. You do the roll. You do his jiggle, right? And you give Jedi Training Ray turn meter, and you get the team rolling. That's what BB-8 does, and you bring down the cooldown, and that's what BB-8's role is. His role is to go fast so that he can go first, feed turn meter to Jedi Training Ray, who will then use her ability and maybe put ability block or something else, right? So it's always, it depended on the characters. Some characters you might care about the primary on, and as an example, I'll tell you about my CLS. Right, my CLS is modded for speed and damage. So what I did was I put a crit damage set on him with my fastest speed secondaries. But I did care about his primaries because I'm trying to optimize his damage. But I'm not trying to optimize his speed. What I'm trying to do is make him as fast as possible with a crit damage set with a crit damage primary triangle. So that was my focus on how I was trying to mod my CLS. And then I kept it within that realm so that in that case, there was a focus on the primary. But BB-8 doesn't have that focus. Fallen Basilisk, Darth Revan, Jedi Knight Revan, they don't really have that focus. Stark, for example, doesn't have that focus because his is just to go fast and feed turn meter and get all of your Imperial troopers going, right? Thrawn, another character. You really don't have to worry about Thrawn's damage. Fracture doesn't go through potency and tenacity, so all you care about is his speed and being able to get his fracture off, right? And there's a bunch of other characters too, and I'm going to make a video about engine characters afterwards too, but that's what they are, right? They're your engine to get your team revved up, and all they care about is speed. Primaries and stuff and 2-piece bonus. If you have the luxury of being able to keep the same speed and switch around mods, go for it. It's not that you can't use 2-piece bonuses, but it's that the speed is the main concern, and only in the case of like a tie do you ever really look at primaries and sets and stuff. Outside of like the 4-piece speed bonus, of course.
Hey Finn.
Mm-hmm.
BB-8 shark do 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 Finn's a
do BB-8 do 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 BB-8 do 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 BB-8. All right. Yeah. So she asked, "Aren't you giving away a ton of damage?" Yeah, you are, but that again, that's not their focus. I think we talked about that. Yeah. So they're very useful, Miss Maz Kanata. Actually, you know what? If you want, Maz, go ahead and put your ally code in the chat, and let's see. Well, let's look at some of your mods and see what kind of fastest mod set we can put on your character, right? Because I know you said that that your Fallen Basilisk doesn't seem fast enough. Let's take a look at your mods and see what your fastest speed set is. Well, let's see if you have it correct. If maybe you have something faster, we can take a look at it.
So I've made some progress.
If you would like. If you don't want us to see your ally code, then we won't do it.
That's right. I got boss to 290. What did I get him at? 291.
Clone Troop. Do y'all keep Zetas in the bank? If so, how many do you keep?
I don't keep any Zetas in the bank right now, man. I just did Padme. Anakin's next. He's getting my next fastest. He's getting the next Zeta. So,
you answered. So you're saying no, and I'm saying yes, but it's pretty much for the exact same reason.
Well, yeah, it depends on what you're doing.
Unless there's a team I'm working on.
Yeah.
So right now, I'm saving up my Zetas for Darth Revan and Malak. So I'm saving it up specifically for that. I am going to be working on the Padme team, so the Zetas afterwards are going on them, but they're not going on the Padme team before I get Darth Revan and Malak.
You got to get Darth Revan.
So
I've already got those done.
Zetas, but I had Zetas banked before that. So I've already put a Zeta on HK-47. I put a Zeta on Fallen Basilisk, all in prep for that. And then I have, what do I have? I think I have almost 4 Zetas right now saved up. I have 3 Zetas and 4 out of 20 towards the next one. So, I mean, I almost have 4 Zetas saved up. So he's asking who to Zeta next. We'd have to look at your roster.
I have the notes you have and what you're working on. I can't just say, oh, you should do this character. I have no idea what you've got done.
Clone Troop, just a reminder, and all of you guys as Purple Plus VIPs, right? You guys get accelerated roster reviews because you guys are helping us do Patreon and all of that. So if you guys want us to look at your rosters,
Yes.
just let us know, and we put you in the VIP line for the roster reviews.
Absolutely.
So that's never a problem for you guys. If you want us to look at your review, I mean, we could look at your rosters now, but you guys get special privileges because you are patrons. When you guys message me to join the queue, though, please remind me that you're a patron, because sometimes I don't always check against the thing that I can't see your roles when you PM. So sometimes I miss that. So just let me know that you're a patron, and then I'll make sure you guys get in the accelerated line. But we can definitely do that. Okay. So Miss Maz Kanata put her ally code. I'm going to go to her GG page here, as long as my interwebs is continuing to work right now. Right now it is being nice, so that's good. Okay, so Maz, let me ask you first. Do you think you have your fastest mod set on Fallen Bastila? I haven't looked yet, so I'm asking. I'm curious to see if she thinks she has this fastest one, and then I can review to see if she does or doesn't. And I'm grabbing a clean back envelope so I can do my analysis.
Look at Miles, that 7-star Malik. Oh my god.
So, do that. I got that one. And then what else? Let's do this. Haha. So I got that. This. And that one. We got that one. We got this one. Okay. And got this one. Okay, this one. All right, now let's take a look at. This is the one left. This one is. Okay. So we have 3, 6, 5, plus 1, minus 2, 0, 0, 0, 0. So
Finn's doing math.
19. Yep, I am. Okay, this one would be 32. Okay, so make sure that you have that. So, okay, you do have that one on Fallen Bastila. All right, so Maz Kanata, your Fallen Bastila is currently at 291 speed with a set bonus of 149. So, hold on. So 291, 49. So that means her speed is 142. And you have one of the pieces, which means that her real or 10% bonus is going to be 13 speed. Okay. So, if I have calculated this all correctly, Then your fastest set would be 19, 32, 24, 23, 24, 19, 19, 32, 24, 22, 24, 19, 13, and then plus 142. So you're close. I think you can get 4 more speed on your Fallen Bastila. I'm gonna check one more time here. So 291, 149, 6 to 13. So it's 13 plus 19, 32, 24, 22, 24, 19. Yeah, 153. So your current set is 149. Your fastest is actually 153. So you'd be able to gain 4 speed on your Fallen Bastila. So it's not a huge.
Well,
gain,
and she also is missing the other Gear 12 Plus piece, so that would give her 6 more speed.
But that would make it so that when you get the 6-piece bonus, your next 6 plus, that your speed on your Fallen Bastila would be over 300.
Yeah, that puts you at 301. And having a 301 Bastila is pimp.
So yeah, you're close. You're not off by a lot, but you are missing. Now, if you want to remod your Fallen Bastila to be faster, just as a heads up, you will have to probably remod the other characters in your roster. So for your Fallen Bastila, your arrow is fine, your triangle is fine, and your circle is fine. But your square, you're going to want the 19 speed off of Darth Revan. Your diamond will be the 24 speed off of Daka, and the cross would be the 19 speed off of Malak. So if you make those changes, you'll gain 4 speed on your Fallen Bastila, but you're pulling 1 mod off of Darth Revan and 1 mod off your Malak, so you'll probably need to remod those.
Yeah, I probably pulled that mod off Malak and put it on Revan or something, speed wise. It's not about sets, it's just about speed.
Yeah, and then Darth Revan you would want to make fastest, so you would kind of do the same process as I mentioned kind of at the beginning on how to optimize your speed set, and you just do the same thing. Now, again, I'm only finding the mods that are on your characters, because I use GG, but if you do your in-game search, I don't know if you have any mods that are not equipped that may be even faster than the ones that I'm seeing, so just as a heads up.
Clone Troops says, I was going to donate to look at my account too, but it will not let me. I don't know if Super Chat works in here.
Well, no, that's what it doesn't, because you can only do it in a public event. I think so. It doesn't let you. Yeah. But that's what I was telling him earlier. Like you're a VIP.
Oh, okay. I didn't notice. I just noticed that. So.
Yeah, he's a patron, so you can get the accelerated thing. Just make sure that you message me.
We got you. It's squared. So we need to add him to the roster reviews. He put his ally code in there, so if you want to put him for like lunch stream or something, or because I don't want to do a full in-depth roster review right this second without having GG and everything up. But that's all right with you, Clone Troop. We'll stick you up as priority on our lunch stream and get you squared away, buddy. Just let Finn know what list out like when you send him Finn a message and let him know everything you want us to look at, and we'll go in depth, man.
I'm trying to bring up his roster right now, though, because he was asking about his next Zeta.
Oh, next Zeta? Yeah, we can look at that. All right, we're going to do this. All right, we'll do it.
I'm looking right now. So he has... I'm trying to see where he can potentially add another Zeta. So if you're doing... And you mentioned Bounty Hunters on defense, Clone Troop. I would do your second Zeta on Boss. That's the first thing that I'm seeing. Similarly, I would do the second Zeta on Crew. Crew needs both of his Zetas.
Where's Padme? Oh no! Oh no! No Padme.
So offhand, those would be the first 2 Zetas that I would do. Your second one on Boss and your second one on Crew.
No Padme. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Trying to see which other ones you have that can potentially require Zeta. If you're using C-3PO a lot on offense, you can consider the Zetas on him. If it's mostly for PvE that you use him, then you don't. If you're using him for PvP, the extra translation and stuff that he provides with the Zetas are really good. So 3PO may be one that you want to consider. Another one potentially to consider is Cornered Beast on Wampa. Depending on how much you use him, he'll probably be a little bit lower priority. I think Bosk and Crew for sure would be two Zetas that I would rank very highly.
I'm not seeing anything really sticking out. Nine Sisters look good. Troopers, I'm sure look good. They look good. But we didn't have a Padme.
Yeah, he said that he has her but hasn't activated her.
Well, if you want to go for the
6'5".
Galactic Republic team, I mean, you got Ahsoka with the Zeta, you got Anakin 12, Kenobi 12. I mean, you could go for her eventually and put the Zetas on her, man. Galactic Republic, man, let me tell you, that team is ridiculous. It is super duper ridiculous. But other than that, I mean, there's really not much here that you haven't hit already that is solid.
No, that's pretty much it. The main ones, Crew and Boss.
Yeah.
You get those done, then you're solid.
Plus, they help your
Everything
ships.
else is just...
You know, I mean, they're two of the best ships in the game. Yeah, I can't think of anything else, so just flipping through your stuff here.
Everything else is then just whether or not you really want to add the Zetas. Wampa, C-3PO, those are all kind of optional ones. So you don't really have to do anything with those.
Yeah.
Which... Yeah, I wouldn't bother with that one either. Another one potentially, if you want to do it, is Rebel Maneuvers on CLS. It's really nice to use that, especially on a lot of these teams now. When Han can go first, and if anything gets resisted, then everyone gains turn meter. So it helps. Rebel Maneuvers, CLS's leader ability does end up being a lot better. Now, downside to that, it does throw off your timing a little bit on phase 3 of the Sith raid. So if that is a concern, then you may not want to do that. But just something potentially to consider there.
Yep.
But yeah, otherwise you have all the other critical ones, and I would just save. I'm kind of checking some of these that have multiple Zetas and you have one Zeta on, just to see if there's anything else in particular that's worth Zetaing. But yeah, if you're going to work on Galactic Republic, you'll have a bunch of Zetas that you can throw on there. Kenobi, Anakin, Ahsoka, Padme. You'll go through 6 Zetas very quickly. Let's see. What else is there? Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else. Just those two. Crew and Boss. Then I would say you're solid. Actually, he only has one Zeta on HK.
You could, yeah, PvP team first.
Right, am I reading that correctly? Yeah, he only has one Zeta. So he doesn't have, which one? I think it's Reconstruction. I'm trying to check this because it's really weird looking. Yeah, I think he's... correct me if I'm wrong, because GG is acting a little weird, because it's saying it's maxed out at 7, but it definitely isn't. But it looks like you don't have the Zeta on the self-reconstruction, where he deals more damage with Deathmark and Fear and stuff. That really makes him quite deadly. So I would say that one is also up there with Crew and Boss.
Yep.
Yeah, those are the only ones.
There you go.
Otherwise, you seem to have everything else completed. So yeah, there's really not too many others worth working on.
Oh, what a day, Finn! What a day.
Yeah, so he is missing self-reconstruction. Yeah.
All right. Anything else? I think that's covered quite a lot, Finn.
Yeah. Do you guys have any other questions? We have
Because
a few more minutes left here. If you guys have anything. So.
we gotta go to bed. Because I gotta be up early in the morning for the damn Jedi Academy. That's science.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I didn't know if you knew that, Finn, but that's science.
Hmm.
Give another minute here. See if anybody else has anything else. Then Finn can go back to watching his Bob Ross stuff.
I do like me some Bob Ross. I'll be in the Discord voice too, just hanging out with people's. So.
Do you have the link to the Bob Ross stuff?
It's twitch.tv/Bob Ross. Very uncomplicated. Alrighty. So I think that's everything. Ranger?
I'm trying to find Bob Ross.
Oh, it's twitch.tv/Bob Ross.
Yeah, I got it. It's nothing happening.
Don't play it on the stream. Well, I guess this is a unlisted one anyways.
Yeah, I've got it muted right now. So nothing will come
No,
through.
Clone Troop, thank you guys for supporting.
Yes, absolutely. This is why we do what we do, guys. All right. We can close this one out then. So we appreciate all your support. You guys keep us going. Keep me afloat so we can keep doing these streams for you guys. So appreciate all your support. You guys are more than welcome to reach out to us anytime. You guys know that. We're always available for you. So if you have problems, then all you need to do is reach out and we'll help you out with all your stuff. So Clone Troop says, fun fact, I'm sitting on 254,000 GW currency. I use mine all for shard currency, shard store currency, so good on you, brother. I couldn't do it. I need this. I need the gear. All right, so on behalf of myself and the Troll Extraordinary Dr. Finn, thank you guys so much. With that, see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.